For this video, make sure that you have the original formula sheet that you were given. These all kind of go together. They don't fit under the prisms. We separated the prisms out because 3 of these you can just plug into a formula, and they're sort of called Glade problems. You just plug it in and go. And so you need to be able to find the formula and then go with it. So I want you to notice on here a couple formulas on your formula sheet. One of them is surface area of a sphere. So this is what would be given to you. I wrote in the surface area of a regular prism, which is 2b plus perimeter times height, and the surface area of a cylinder, 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h. So you make sure you note where those are at. If you didn't have that out when you started this video, pause it, go find it, make sure you know where those formulas are. You probably just want to write them at the top of your paper. Okay, so identify the shape first, and then you can figure out what the formula is, and then it's just straight plug in and go. So this is a cylinder, and when you look for the surface area of a cylinder, 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h. So obviously the radius is always important. It's going to be twice in here. Now be careful when you square something that you actually square it and don't multiply times 2. And then the height is just the height of your cylinder. And if it's turned on its side, the height is still that length between the bases. So what we have here is, this is 100 times, that's 200 pi, and 70, 140 pi. So if you want the most accurate answer, 340 pi. And if you want to multiply by the pi button to get a decimal approximation, you can do that. 1068.1415. It says nearest hundredth, so 14 meters squared. Straight identification, plug it in and go. No, nothing to think about it. The sphere is the easiest one. Sphere is a ball. It's the easiest one. The formula is given to you by ISTEP, 4 pi r squared. So if you know r, you just plug it in. So 49 times 4, 196 pi. Always try to leave it in terms of pi before you simplify, just to get used to that, because sometimes answers will show up that way. Which, when you approximate it, when you multiply by pi, you get 615.75216 meters squared. Again, straight up Glade problem. Plug it in, go. Cone, same thing. Surface area of a cone has a special formula. You have the circle on the top, okay, which that area is just pi r squared because it's a circle. But then you have the outside, which has a different term on it, and I don't know if that you've heard that term before or not. If you get your formula sheet, there's lots of different miscellaneous. They're not organized very well by the state of Indiana on here. But if you're looking for cones, we have a volume of a cone, and that's about it. So I'm going to add the surface area of a cone. You can add this formula in. It's pi r squared, that's the bottom or the top, however your cone is, plus pi r l. And you know r it is. L is called the slant height. So add that to your formula sheet. I'll try to make sure that you have it on there when I get back. Pi r squared plus pi r l. So we go back to our problem. Pi r squared plus pi r l. Again, it's, once you know the formula, it's pretty much straight plug in. Pi times 4 squared plus pi times 4 times 10.8. So When you simplify, you have 16 pi. Take 4 times 10.8. 43.2 pi. So that is 59.2 pi. Again, get it in terms of pi before you simplify. 185.982 inches squared. Those three are pretty straightforward. Find the formula, plug it in. Make sure you have those formulas, you know where they're at. If you want to centralize them somewhere, you can. Pyramids, not quite as easy. If it's a regular pyramid, then we can use a formula sometimes, but I don't want to add in another special formula. So what I'm going to do is think about how we did this with prisms. Well, with a prism, we took the area of the base and the area of the other base, and then we add the rectangles. Well, for a pyramid, we have a base. We only have one base, and then we have triangles. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 triangles. It's 6-sided base. So I have 6 triangles. So our same kind of planning. So the base is a hexagon. Area of the hexagon, 1/2 apothem times perimeter. Well, the side is 7, so 7 times 6 is 42. And then we have triangles. The nice part is all these triangles are equal. The confusing part is you got to think about looking at an angle. So the base of my triangle is 7, and the height of my triangle is 11.7. So one of the triangles is half of 7 times 11.7. So one triangle, 40.95. And you have 6 of those that you're going to multiply. So each of the triangles is about 41. So then you just go through and multiply this out. So I have 40.95 times 6, 245.7. The more steps you show, when you make an error, you can find your error. And then you don't just come up and say, I don't got the right answer. I don't know what to do. I don't have nothing on my paper. And you could become a contributive member of society that can solve their own problems without the help of someone else all the time. Okay, so there we are, base plus 6 triangles. The hardest ones of these are the pyramids where the base is not a regular polygon. And not because finding the area of the base is hard, it's just you got to be careful with the triangles. So the area of the base is a rectangle. So 5 times 12, that's 60. That part's easy. And I'm still going to find 4 triangles. But I just got to be careful because the front triangle, 12 by, so I'm going to break this into 2 triangles of one size and 2 triangles of another size. So the front triangle is 12 by a height of 12.3. So 1/2 of 12 times 12.3. And the other triangle is 5 by 13.4. So I have 1/2, 5 times 13.4. Make sure you're writing down all these steps here so you can follow it later on. 60 plus 2 times 1/2 is nice. So I'm just taking 12 times 12.3. 147.6. 2 times 1/2 is gone. 5 times 13.4. 67. So I'm adding those 3 together. 274.6 miles squared. Again, be careful on the triangle ones. Just set it up like we did. But for these 3, when you identify the shape, write down the formula. So the next step, you're going to be doing a code search. Make sure that you check your answer to the code every 5 problems so that we know which one you need to fix.